Hello, and welcome to our Digital Marketing Certificate Program Open House. My name is Amy Oland. I'm the Assistant Director of Professional and Continuing Education, PACE, here at Oakland University. Here at OU PACE, we provide community, national, and global learners access to innovative, flexible, and relevant educational opportunities and high-quality, engaging instruction for lifetime personal and professional growth. That being said, we are thrilled to partner with the Digital Marketing Institute to offer this program. The Digital Marketing Pro course is offered in both an online and on-demand format, and we are also excited to offer an online option that will include synchronous sessions with an instructor who you will meet shortly. We are going to provide you with an overview of the program and also answer any questions you might have, so feel free to submit those at any time using the Q&A function in the webinar. I would like to now introduce our two main speakers for the presentation, Ms. Samantha Mertens and Dr. Alex Tierney. Sam Mertens is currently the Director of Consumer Experience Strategy at Leo Burnett, leading work on Cadillac. In previous roles, she's led brand and social strategy at MRM, McCann, and Fleischmann Hillard in the North American and European markets. She has a bachelor's from Oakland University and a master's from Wayne State University. Alex Tierney is a global partner account manager at the Digital Marketing Institute. She explores new opportunities to expand the business and develops new and existing partnerships with prospective education businesses internationally. Previously, she worked as program manager, helping to deliver and execute DMI programs within the DMI's expanding network. I am going to kick it over to Alex now to get us started.
Sorry, I was struggling to unmute myself there. Strong start. Thank you, Amy. Welcome everyone to today's session. As Amy said, we're going to talk about the DMI Pro, which is offered by Oakland in two different ways. But no matter which way you take the course, you'll be all earning the same certificate and going through the same modules. And Sam is actually running the in-class session, so we'll hear from her and she can talk a bit more about what you'll learn. So just to start for today, before we get into the specifics of the course, I just wanted to introduce who the Digital Marketing Institute is. And in particular, I want to do this because the DMI is a professional certification and we work with industry leaders to deliver this. So just to let you know that the esteem and the weight of the certification that you'll get from the DMI along with Oakland University is really, really well recognized across industry. So the Digital Marketing Institute is the global certification body for the marketing industry. And we're also the global networking body for the marketing industry. At the moment, we actually have over 187,000 members around the world. And when we mean around the world, we mean it. We have partners from over 130 countries who are working with students across all disciplines and then coming together to be certified digital marketing professionals. So how do we do this? How do we build this global presence and how can you be a part of that? The DMI certifications are all built with industry leaders and we work with people from over 40 of the leading brands in digital to ensure that the curriculum that we're building is essential for someone to succeed and really for someone to be competitive in the digital marketing industry. That can be competitive with recruiters, it can be competitive with clients, it could be giving you an edge to go for that promotion, go for that new job, whatever it might be. We've heard from the best of the best in industry, this is what someone should be doing in this position, and these are the skills they should have. And we'll look more specifically at that in just a second. But as a result of all this work, it's our goal to set a single standard on digital marketing certification around the world. And I just want to talk a tiny bit more about these industry leaders who we work with in order to do this. So we've actually built our own council called the Global Industry Advisory Council. And these are from people all around the world. The last time, unfortunately, they were able to meet in person was all the way back in 2019. So that's a better picture than a bunch of Zoom boxes from the last few years. But what the council does is they have one annual meeting throughout the year, and then they have sort of smaller meetings to keep on top of all the curriculum changes. And what they do is these are the trendsetters from industry. These are the leaders. These are the people that I think as a digital marketer, I would like to be But firstly, these are the people I'd like to hire me. So I want to know what they're looking for and what they anticipate is coming down the line. So they meet with us and they will review our curriculum and they'll validate our curriculum and they'll say, this is what someone will be hired as with these skills. So this is my favorite slide because it's a bit of a nosy who's who on the Global Industry Advisory Council. So for instance, we have the head of digital marketing in IBM. We have the vice president of HubSpot Academy, the global head of e-learning and innovation in Google, the business education director in Facebook, and on and on and on. I won't read all the names. You can see others such as the chief marketing officer from Microsoft in Ireland. The DMI is headquartered in Ireland. That's why there's that. The director of sales as well, of inside sales from Microsoft, because there's a ton of crossover, as you know, between marketing and sales. So we want to hear from people who have this sort of breadth of knowledge that they can bring to our curriculum. So it's a really impressive group. And by you doing your certification, you are basically doing what they're saying will help you succeed and get a job. Oops. So that's kind of the DMI, just to give you an idea of how we build our programs, who we are, our global presence, and all of that. Now, you're here today because you're interested in upskilling in a digital role, but we should talk a little bit about why is there this urgency right now to do this? And also there's a great opportunity right now for digital careers. And Sam, we'll talk about that in just a second. So just to say globally, we're going to talk globally first, and then we'll boil right down to Michigan. But globally, there is a demand for skilled professionals in digital marketing, but there aren't enough people to meet this demand. If you jump onto LinkedIn right now, you'll be able to see and just type in digital marketing or search marketing specialist, whatever it might be, you'll see there's tons of jobs out there. We've done a ton of research into this skills gap because it's our goal to close it. And we've just surveyed what are companies thinking about this. So if you look at the far left there, this is from Smart Insights. We found that 9% of companies would rate their marketing department as strong in all aspects of marketing. That's incredibly low, 9%. When it comes to social selling, which is where we meet selling and marketing, only 17% of companies believe that they have, oh, sorry, that's the one, the 69% of sales professionals believe that they're skilled in social selling. If we go to that 17%, that's 17% of companies believe they have the staff to assist with digital transformation. So you can see there's a demand across sales, across marketing, and across digital transformation and strategy in companies for certified individuals. And as a result of this huge gap, 77% of companies believe that the lack of digital skills is the #1 obstacle in their ability to transform in today's world, to digitally transform. There's a really big demand across the world, but let's look specifically at Michigan. So this is just from the last 12 months. We've seen a steady high demand for jobs in digital marketing. And this is only going to grow. We're seeing an uptake over the next 2 years of at least 12.3% in these demands for jobs or for skilled professionals, these opportunities for jobs. When it comes to you and you're kind of thinking, okay, here I have a certain level of experience, whether that's a sort of entry level experience or mid to senior, there's opportunities across the board. But if you look at this graph here on the left, there's only, there's not, jobs aren't requiring people who are super experienced, but how do you differentiate yourself in that? A certification helps. So if we look here, 27% of jobs posted within the last 12 months only require 0 to 2 years experience. So how do you get your foot in the door? How do you stand apart from the crowd? You have to have proof of skills and proof of an ability to grow as well. Also, if we're looking at education level, a lot of jobs are looking for people with a bachelor's degree. You can see that's a huge number there, 90%. But there still are jobs that are looking for people who have high school degrees or associate level degrees. what we see at the DMI, most of the people coming into the Digital Marketing Institute certification programs are either switching jobs or they're changing from a traditional marketing to a digital marketing. They might have some experience, excuse me, they might have some experience, but they are looking to prove this experience and to grow it as well. So again, having the job or having the certification will really help bring you into opportunity to have employment. Sorry, one moment, please. So what do we mean when we talk about digital marketing skills? Actually, before I do that, I just want to ask Sam, before I jump into before I jump into the specific skills about digital marketing, I would just ask if Sam might be able to jump on. And Sam, maybe you could talk about just the job market and really when it comes to recruitment, how has, say, recruitment and expectations or things that people would look for, employers would look for new candidates, how has that maybe changed or progressed in the last couple of years?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. I'd love to. So, I have worked in the marketing industry for about the last 13 years. I've worked for a number of different ad agencies and a couple of organizations internally around the world. And as someone who is responsible for recruiting, interviewing, hiring, building teams in this skills or with this skill set, we're seeing a huge shift from requiring X number of years of experience in this role, from requiring a particular type of degree to demonstrating a comprehensive understanding of skills that will be relevant for the actual role. And a really great example is actually when it comes to content creation that fill some of these marketing opportunities, we don't necessarily look for people who've been trained at classic art in organizations or universities. They don't have to have a degree in content creation. We might look to see if their Instagram is really cool or if their TikTok is very pretty. I know that might not actually be relevant to those that are joining us or listening to us today, but the idea is that we're moving away from this very traditional hierarchical education or experience-driven hiring system to demonstrate whether or not you're capable to fill the role. And we're moving toward that actual demonstration of skills, actually being able to answer questions and engage with us about how you've experienced or learned about these types of campaigns, skills, and how you would look to, how it would look if you filled the role by writing out an answer to a question. So I think it's a really great way, as you're saying, Alex, having a certification can sometimes be absolutely all you need in order to demonstrate that those skills or those that you could fill that opportunity versus having the resume that shows, well, I have 7 years experience here in this style of degree. It's becoming more open and it's becoming more exciting because candidates are becoming more diverse and significantly more capable of actually filling the role.
That's so interesting to hear, because I'm based in Ireland, as I said, but I work with partners from all around the world. And that's incredible to see across the board that there really is, and it's about time, that there really is this emphasis on looking at portfolios but your portfolio can be, as you say, your Instagram or your website or something like that. It doesn't have to be a 10-year experience with a huge marketing campaign and that kind of stuff. We see so many students who really want to break into the industry, who I think also get confidence from doing a course where they get to practice their skills. And we can talk about the elements of the course in a minute, but there are practical exercises in the course that you can work through that I think you can help hone your skills as you're doing it, and then eventually you can have the certification to prove it. But as you say, the skills really is the number one thing that you need, because once you get the job, you're going to have to do the work. So you need the skills to do that. But thank you, Sam. Okay, I'm just going to talk a little bit more about when we say digital skills, what do we mean? And digital marketing skills, what do we mean? So in particular, staying in Michigan, if we look at the skills that are required amongst jobs that are looking for digital marketers, we see there's a huge variety here. Sorry, one moment, please. My apologies, I'm just getting over an illness and it's lingering just a little bit today. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at, it can be anything, as Sam spoke about, content marketing, content creation, to search marketing, social media strategy, brand development, advertising. There is a ton of skills related to digital marketing and that fall under that umbrella that these jobs are demanding. So how can you learn about this? Because it can be quite overwhelming if you're trying to break into the industry or if you're trying to grow and upskill. You might be great at content marketing, but you'd like to get into more about analytics, or there's tons of crossover between content marketing and search marketing and paid marketing, and you'd like to improve one aspect of that so you can be better in the other. How can you improve on that? We have the DMI Pro that we're talking about today. It's designed to meet all of those needs. So while it is a generalist course, no matter what area you're working in digital marketing, it will help inform your knowledge across the board and then help you really specialize in an area if that's what you're looking to do. So we go through 10 modules and we start with a really great introduction. So the course is built for anyone in digital marketing. You can be brand new to the field or you can be a practicing digital marketer. That introduction module is set to make sure everyone's on the same page. So we talk about the customer journey. We talk about the marketing and sales funnel. We talk about sort of some principles of digital marketing. Because digital marketing changes so much, even if you're an experienced digital marketer, you need to take this intro module because it's important to make sure that you're all on the same page today with the digital marketing principles and current practices. And then we go through all of those modules there, you can see in sort of getting down to the specifics of digital marketing. So content marketing is the first one. I won't go through all of the specific modules here, but just to kind of run through what they all mean if you're not too familiar with them. Content marketing, we'll start off, this is my favorite module because it's quite creative. It's a lot about writing. It's a lot about knowing your audience and connecting with your audience. Sorry. And it's also a lot about connecting with your audience and then optimizing that knowledge and making sure you're hitting the right channels, the right people to really drive traffic in whatever way you want. Social media marketing, I think a lot of us think we're very familiar with because most of us are on social media. But social media marketing is so much more than a Facebook campaign. It's a lot about optimizing that and measuring it and doing it really, really well because everyone is on social media. Everyone is trying, every business is trying some type of social media marketing campaign. So how do you stand apart from your customer? Or if you're going for jobs, how do you stand apart from other candidates? Search marketing, search engine optimization is next module. So that's again, say when you enter in a search term into Google, the order in which the links appear, that is can be done organically if it's not a sponsored link. And there's really, really interesting and fun strategic ways to do that. We go through that. Paid search, YouTube and display advertising, email marketing, website optimization, analytics with Google Analytics, and then everything comes together with digital marketing strategy. I'm going to call upon our subject matter expert, Sam, again. And Sam, I know you've worked your way through this course, and I was just wondering if you might be able to speak about it a little bit, if there was anything that stood out to you about any of the skills that stood out or just your experience. What did you think of this one?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. So you mentioned there was a bit of a spectrum, someone who's brand new to digital marketing, someone who is living and breathing it every day. I'm on that end. This is the role that I've held for the majority of my career. And after completing this course, just 8-ish weeks ago, so I'm quite new or quite fresh coming off of it. I can confidently say that the course really encapsulates everything that I have been kind of learning as we go for the last 10 or 12 years. So I love how you dug in a little bit on social media marketing. You know, when I first started in the industry, that was brand new. Actually, ads didn't even exist yet. And I have come up through the digital marketing industry, learning about Facebook as it introduced ads, learning about Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, now TikTok. We're learning about all of these different facets as we go, implementing ads on behalf of our team or my clients, evaluating them, providing recommendations moving forward. And this course not only gives you the hard skills you need to understand about marketing in the digital space overall, but also gives you a peek into what does the platform look like? How can you actually press launch ad or hold on an ad? It gives you a deep dive into what these platforms look like and how they implement and how they're managed. So I think there's a lot to offer for someone who is on both ends, as you said, someone who's kind of just getting started and trying to get dangerous, perhaps for a business that they're running themselves, or there's a lot that dives deep to make you a really well-rounded digital marketer for someone who's been practicing it for quite a long time.
That's really good to hear, right from a subject matter expert like yourself, because I think it means it obviously means so much more coming from someone who's so established in industry, to hear that feedback. And I know you have lots of education, high education in marketing and in the area. How did you find, just maybe someone who's watching today actually has a marketing degree or something kind of similar? How did you find the course related, or did it build upon that knowledge? What was your experience with that?
Yeah, I thought that, so both of my higher education degrees are in relation to digital marketing. When I was in my bachelor's degree quite some time ago, nothing like this existed, right? Because this was still so brand new. All I was able to access was kind of a digital marketing, or digital certification that had about 4 or 5 classes. This is so much more in depth to anything that was offered when I was in school. And what I really loved about it is those practical exercises that you were talking about give you the opportunity to put some of that knowledge that you're gaining to use. And that is oftentimes what I find can be lacking in more formal degrees. You get these experiences where there's a teacher who is giving you some sort of theory, which certainly the introductory modules here do so. But when you get into the modules that are specific about a topic like PPC or SEO or email marketing, you get the opportunity to access those practical, really real life examples that are actually putting some of that theory to work for you. And I think that's so much more beneficial than, going through a lecture and trying to take notes and theoretically understand a program. It was certainly all encompassing, and the real life examples are definitely most helpful.
That's great to hear as well, that there is that real life, again, in your experience, that it really does connect to your day-to-day life as a marketer, and there really is that real life experience. So that's fantastic to hear, and congratulations on passing the course. Just to say, and Sam now holds the certification as well, that when you pass the DMI course with Oakland, you also get a certificate from the American Marketing Association, the AMA. So we have a great partnership with them that the learning outcomes from the DMI course match the learning outcomes from the AMA's PCM course. It's a lot of abbreviations there. And you get 2 certifications just for completing the one. So it's really, really great. And it makes you a part of 2 really, really great digital marketing networks. So that is that. And here's an example here. So when you get your certification, You will be called a certified digital marketing professional, as well as you'll be getting the PCM on your certification too. So that's very nice. And you don't have to do a second exam. There's no trick here. It's just purely matched to those learning outcomes. So the last thing is to talk about in terms of the course, in terms of what you get access to. And I see Jessica's great question has come in about how we allocate time to courses and stuff, and we can get to that in the Q&A. Excuse me. But when you get access to the course, you also get access to DMI membership. I'm so sorry. And this is a really, really great resource for ebooks, articles, toolkits. It's updated 3 times a week, and it's on the DMI site. You automatically get registered for it. You can just click a link and you're there. And we've really built it out to make sure that your professional development grows alongside your specific digital marketing skills. So in addition to all the articles and toolkits, you also get access to more free short courses. And thankfully, these have no exam. So they aren't certified, but they're just purely there for your knowledge. So they can be things like graphic design for digital marketers. There's a bit on UX, a bit more on Google Analytics. You get access to all of this. There's also a career center, which is really exciting. We work with recruiters from all around the world to link jobs, and we can post them directly onto the DMI website. There's also a forum. There's a huge community forum there. We post jobs that come in. The community is really great, so people are helping each other when it comes to people who are new to freelancing, people who are changing jobs. There's a great thread, career change at 45 help. And it's been going on for years at this point, but people are really engaging with that, and it's really, really lovely. So DMI membership comes complimentary with your enrollment, and there's an element to it called continuous professional development. So once you pass the course, you can then continue to keep your certification active. So your DMI certification never expires, but in order to kind of keep your knowledge up to date, you can enroll in CPD, another abbreviation for you there, and you can, anything that you do on the DMI website or any workshops you attend outside of the DMI, whatever it is, you earn points, and then you can add that to your LinkedIn, to your resume, to show to your employer, whatever it might be, to show that you are keeping your certification active and that you are sort of continuing to be on sort of cutting edge and relevant there. So just to wrap up, I just wanted to highlight a couple success stories. I'm just going to pause for water again, so 1 second. So why certify? In terms of talking about success, these are people who go on, take the course, and then go on with their certification. Why is it so important to have a piece of paper proving that you've done this course or a course and the skills? First of all, it's an assurance of quality. So it's an independent certification proving that you've been held to a professional standard and that you've met that standard. What's really interesting is what this means for employers, for recruiters, for clients. So there's a survey that was done by CompTIA, and it found that 90% of employers would agree that certified individuals are more likely to be promoted by those without a certification, even if they have the same skills. 89% of the employers found that certified staff perform better than non-certified staff in similar roles. So there is that assurance of quality. So you should prove that you have these skills. Next is that the certification is transferable. And in particular, we're seeing that in today's employment environment. People are changing jobs, they're moving industries, they're moving state, moving country. You should have a qualification that travels with you. So a global certification such as this one that's professionally and industry recognized is a great way to do that. Here are some certification features and benefits. specifically related to a DMI course or the DMI course. We've found that 8 out of 10 of our alumni report a promotion within 12 months of taking the certification. We found that 94% are in full employment. And I think this next number is the most important. 74% are employed in digital marketing roles. So this is a relevant certification to the career path that you're going for. And I think that's quite a big number, particularly considering that people who come into a DMI certification are coming from sales, from HR, and then from completely different backgrounds. Over the pandemic, we saw lots of people coming in from creative industries who have then had to move their entire business online, and they're trying to figure out how to do that. And then getting these digital skills has been a way to do that. So really, really interesting here. Those are some benefits. What we also see is that employers are seeking out DMI certifications. We actually work with all of these employers here, again, globally. It's not just in the States, it's all around the world, to train their employees. So these are people who are already working in these industries or in these organizations, and organizations seek us out. So if you're applying for these types of jobs, to go in already with such a certification also really gives you a bit of an edge. And just 2 examples here of people who have moved on to new careers with their certification. So this is Kelly here, who works in HubSpot now. And she said that it was the lecturers who work on the DMI program. So these are the people who, if you do the course online, they've been involved, and actually with Sam as well, but they've been involved in writing the curriculum. So they're really, really sort of the best of the best in the industry. That was the big draw for her. Sorry, I have to mute myself first. So she took the course and was able to move on to a new role in HubSpot, which is incredibly competitive as it's one of the sort of growing industry leaders in marketing. This is my favorite testimonial because I think it's really clear here how the course helped. This is Devin. So Devin's based in Dublin, where the DMI headquarters is, as we said. And Dublin is the Silicon Valley of Europe. People move here to get jobs in tech, particularly in the big names in tech. We have Google, who's located here, Twitter, you name it, they're here, Airbnb, and so on. And Devin here said that shortly after completing his DMI Pro course, he applied and got a job as a marketing operations specialist. And I think this is really important because he's saying, took the certification, got me the job, but he uses the skills that he learned in the DMI course on a daily basis. So again, just really driving home how relevant the course is and how it really will help you as a professional long-term in your career. So that's all. I'm going to give my voice a bit of a rest. If anyone has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. And actually, sorry, I won't rest because we actually already have a question here from Jessica. So Jessica here has asked, how do you allocate time for each of the modules? So simply, if you're doing the course online, they are actually divided into really specific times. So the intro course is, say, it's 2 hours and 33 minutes. And what's really nice about it is that everything is in bite-sized learning. So you're not just turning on a video for 2.5 hours. One video might be 1 minute, one video might be 8 minutes, one might be 4. So you can kind of go through it at your own pace, which is really, really nice, rather than going like, all right, I'm sitting down for 2.5 hours. We really found that users, and we do lots of work with kind of user experience and all of that type of design. The best type of experience for a learner is to have it in these bite-sized learning things when they're doing it online in a self-directed environment. Sam, I know you did it online. How did you find sort of allocating time? What worked for you in your own experience?
Yeah, I think exactly what you said, the concept that Each of the modules are broken up into smaller pieces. Shorter videos that are led, directed is really helpful. And, it really worked well for me to ensure that I was able to complete one module per week. That gave me enough time at the end of the modules to go back, review the material, take the practice quiz a couple of times, or the practice test a couple of times. Take all of the quizzes at the bottom of every module over again a couple of times, and then actually complete some of those real life examples or problems that we had talked about earlier. So my suggestion is a module per week will certainly keep you on a great clip to ensure that you take and schedule and take your exam within the allotted time. But it also isn't too much of a rush, because as you said, while each module might only take about 2.5 hours to 3 hours, they are broken up into little pieces. So it's, I actually used it as kind of a morning routine, right? Started in the morning as I'm having my coffee, and then I could go about the day and ruminate on some of the things that I learned, review some notes. It makes it for a pretty easy experience, actually.
That's a great example, actually, in terms of building that into your own routine, because that's a nice way. It sort of starts your day with that, and then you can think about it as you're going and being a fabulous digital marketer yourself. I see just another question coming in here from Jessica. Is there an assessment associated with each module, or is it just the certification at the end? So in short, there's just a certification at the end. It's a 3-hour exam. It's all multiple choice. So there's no writing, no short answer. It's all just computer-based multiple choice. But as Sam said, we have all these sort of study tools throughout your experience. So there's quizzes at the end of each module. So you can get that instant feedback. I don't know, Sam, if you had this experience, or if anyone else who's done an online course before, but sometimes I'll be listening to a course and I think I'm really enjoying it, but not realizing not a lot's going in. So I think I love this this unit. It's so interesting. And then I go to take the course at the end of the exam, at the end of the module, and the instant feedback I get is you only got 2 out of 5 questions right, or something like that. So we've built those in specifically for those times where you think, oh, I'm really understanding this, and then you test your knowledge and you're not. So these are all just study tools. They have no bearing whatsoever on your final grade. They're just there to help you as you work through the courses. Also, as Sam said, there is a practice exam tool. So it's written, the exam itself is written by the DMI, and we've also written a practice exam tool that has questions of similar difficulty to the exam, and you can take it as many times as you want, and it's on the DMI site, which you will all have access to. Again, it's a really great tool to help you prepare for the exam. We're actually studying it internally right now to see how we can get more people using it. And we've found, I think the number is 89% of people who pass the practice exam will go on and pass the actual exam too. So it's a really great tool, it really prepares you, and you can do it as many times as you want. As Sam said, she did it a couple times, and it is a nice way to test your knowledge. Some similar questions that we get just around the exam. So you have 3 hours to do it, and it's run by Pearson VUE. So you can either do it at a testing center, or you can do it from home online, and there's an online proctor. So it's up to you, whichever suits you best. It's all multiple choice, and you have to get 60%, that's the passing grade to get that. And we see really high success rate from students who go and take the exam. If you go through the course, you do the quizzes, do the practice exam, you will be more than set when it comes to passing the exam. A lot of people get a lot of nerves around that, but really don't let that put you off. It is you'll be completely set for it. And again, it's written by the people who have created the course. So it's very relevant. Other sort of questions that we often get to, just going back to actually Jessica's question about time. So you have 24 weeks to complete the course. So if you're taking it online, it's from the first of the month. So say if you register today, your official start date will be actually the 1st of April. You'll get some free access before the next intake if you decide to do it online. And you will have 24 weeks to complete the course and take the exam. If you fail the exam, you have 2 more attempts to sit the exam. I'll just wait for a moment to see if we get any more questions coming in.
Looks like we might be good. And just to kind of finish up here, I did post my email in the chat. So if you have any other questions, please feel free, or anything at all, feel free to follow up with me, and I'll be happy to answer those, or I can connect you with Sam, since she is going to be our instructor for our upcoming session, and she can answer them as well. So thank you everybody for coming.
Thank you,
Good one.
everyone.